They could go have fun with all these videos on this page, bro. You see me from like 2, 3 years ago going crazy because of the adrenaline I needed. Adrenaline and testosterone got me through, and caffeine, and nicotine, and THC. That was getting me through. It was. It does. It works its way inside. Excuse me. Because I know that's what was happening too, bro. It's like, what do you want me to do? Just criticize you? Acting like it's okay? I don't even agree with that. It's not okay. Just agree with the wrong shit. Do what you want. I have a lot of opinionated people are assholes, right? That's why they say opinions are like assholes. I have opinions too. I usually keep a lot of it to myself, dude. I ain't trying to tell you shit, really. For me to censor myself just to get monetization, it seems like a compromise I don't want to make. Even though I probably could get some bread by fishing, but I probably have a better chance getting money doing fishing than making music. But I like both. I like making music and I like fishing. It both old hobbies. I've had fishing for a long time, bro. I've been fishing longer than I've been making music. But I always liked music. That's the thing. They were trying to do their best. I know. Sometimes your best just ain't good enough. That's the thing people don't understand, bro. Like, you gotta put your faith in God on top of it. I'm supposed to just be okay with all that shit. I know. That's from narcissists. They want you to be okay with abusing yourself so that they could abuse you. I wasn't having all this shit. I'm not trying to blame anybody, but I wasn't having people getting called up on me, right? I wasn't having these types of tendencies anymore. That's what made me suspicious to it, because I seen something where it was like a circle. It was like flipped with a black heart and a key locked. And I was like, well, that's why I don't trust it. Like, you're willing to go along with that when I can see what it is. Like, oh, they're not just against you. Like, I didn't say they are, bro. I look at enemies as a lesson to be learned, especially if you lose against the enemy. It's not endless. The time is not forever. Time is endless, but your time is not forever. You worry about all of them? I'm not. I'm worried about you around them. Big difference. Trying to bring me down in any type of way? I'm not talking about success. Like, oh, you're taking me out. No, I'm talking about you're lowering my vibration. I'm allowing my vibration to get lowered to be around you because you're doing something that annoys me. That's what I mean about it. I didn't have to lower my vibration at first, and then I start having to do that. You drag me down into my egotistical primal base instinct. I'm good on that. My amygdala is fine, and you don't get to screw around with it. My frontal lobe is probably some damage, but at the same time, it's fine, bro. I wasn't acting like that's all good after I figured out the truth. Like, oh well, nah, it made me feel worse when I figured out what the truth is. And then I started getting dreams about it. I was like, yo, if that was true, and I feel even worse. I don't feel bad about the reason I did it, but it makes me feel bad for them too. Like, they obviously had some issues. It's easier for them to get it, than it is for me. Let's say when I was like 16, I wasn't able to just pull 21-year-old girls. It's not that much of an age difference, but at the time it is, right? You don't think so. When you're 15, 16, 17, you don't think that. You're saying, what's the difference? I didn't even look like I went through puberty yet when I was 18. I had a baby face until I was like 30, bro. I looked mad young into my late 20s. I still look young for my age, but you could definitely see my age now. You know what to look for, you know? You see that I have a full beard. I have some gray hair. I have laugh lines. I have strength that's not just a boy's strength, you know? There's certain strength that comes with that age. The chemical reactions that your body has, the transformation. That's why I laugh at that shit, bro. It's like, those aren't my enemies. A lot of those people actually were looking out for me in some type of way, even if they were against me. I know I got love, bro. I could feel the love. It's from inside. It's just a feeling I get. I'm talking about when it comes from other people, I never felt like it was reciprocated. The love I give doesn't get reciprocated unless it's masquerading as the facade of the love that I give. It's kind of why I just rock with my backup, you know? The backup profile has more playlists on it, more, um, what's the word I'm looking for? It's more beneficial for me to leave comments on that, on that profile. It's funny because this profile started as I'm just trying to start over. And it was the same shit. I'm like, I have to get this on camera, bro. Look at these weird ass lights following me around. The fuck is this? It's to drive you crazy and get you paranoid so nobody trusts you and so that you don't trust other people either. I don't want to have a fallout and then my personal information. It's like, bro, what can I say to you that you saying that to me? You probably say that to everybody. And then what? You gonna blame me if they all know about it? Like, you should have gotten past that shit a long time ago. Anything that I could say about you that you're embarrassed on, if you say something about me that's embarrassing, I'd be like, oh well, yeah, you coerced me. They coerced me a lot of the times, bro. A lot of these people coerce me. It's like, yeah, you want me to hear how vulnerable I felt, and then it's like, you want me to say it, and then you want to hear how vulnerable I felt so you can use it against me again. Is how I feel. It's what they do, bro. Except I'm making it aware. I'm making you aware that I'm paying attention to you. I'm not just watching you from a distance only. the one that's not so nosy, bro. I'm like, leave them alone. They're doing something for glory. They're doing something for attention, but if they don't need my attention in that way, I don't pay it to them. Like, I could tell the difference. I was like, oh, yeah, I guess that's just leading me on, right? Yeah, you're perfectly fine, bro. Maybe the church will save you. What else was I gonna do during these lockdowns, bro? I was recording myself catching fish. Never dropped it in a ditch or a gully. I was recording myself at the farm, bro. Recording chemtrails, recording the work I was doing, not recording myself working, but showing you I'm at work. Picking fucking peach blossoms off the tree. One guy says it's enough, the other guy says it's not enough, and it's like, well, what do you want me to do, bro? Because that freeze probably knocked off a lot of the blossoms. That's what these people do. The gaslight, duality, push pull. You know, you get the robots off your dick sometimes by just not engaging with the profile. Why wouldn't you have backup profiles when you speak like this? You're gonna censor me. I know you're gonna censor me, bro. And it's not just because of a curse or because you're trying to protect kids. It's like you want me to look a certain type of way so I could be portrayed, right? I know. Street theater. You want me to be a part of the street theater. I could tell when you want me to be a part of street theater. The arguing, it's like, it's annoying to me. Like, stop getting me on edge, bro. Stop making me anxious. For real. So, wait, how do I make you feel something? How can I make you feel something? Well, in the Bible, it says you could bring wrath out of your child's heart. Basically saying not to gaslight and lie to your kids. So, when you tell them to go believing in fucking Santa Claus, right? Satan, the anagram for Satan, you're gaslighting them. You're giving them NORAD projections of where he is on the map. And then when the kid has wrath because you're lying, it's like, I'll get over it. You still believe in that fucking myth? It's like, bro, you're teaching kids that Satan is December 25th. When I don't even think Jesus is born on that day. The fuck you want me to say, bro? Like, what, Jesus was born on that day, I guess? And I'm so horrible for thinking this, and I let people have their beliefs, bro. Truthfully. I don't want you to have to feel like you need to change for me just because I have some standards. Like, maybe you should lower your standards. I did it plenty of times. I don't go after girls that don't fucking like me. Why would I do that? It's stupid. I never go after somebody that doesn't like me. That's why it is leading you astray, and there's millstones waiting for those types of people. How was I leading them astray if I'm telling them the chances I'm giving them, right? How was I leading this person astray when I'm saying to them, I don't want that? I might give them a chance, but I don't really know. I don't have an optimistic viewpoint for that based on the past, based on how I feel right now. It depends on what they're going to do in the next couple of months. And it should have been just one or two instead of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 months of this. The same story, the same song and dance. Like, what am I supposed to trust about that? It's the same argument from back then. It's not to be my enemy. It's like, be my friend. I told you be my friend. So how could you assume that I feel as though they're my enemy if I'm asking them to be my friend? Yeah, let's pretend. Let's pretend like this guy doesn't do this shit on purpose to me. It's annoying, bro, to hear somebody talk to a dog like that, but you know they want to stab you. They'll threaten to stab you, but it sounds like they want to kiss the dog on the asshole. They'll throw something at you. They'll assault you coming through the door, never saying sorry, acting like you're the problem. But if you do something to them, they'll be first thing they do is calling the cops. They'll be talking the most shit, and when you come smack their face, they'll be crying about it. I used to get into arguments with this dude about it. You crying about me, setting it straight, setting the record straight. You crying about me doing that, right? But look at how you speak to this person. You speak to this person worse than I could ever imagine, and they're all right with you doing it. It's called trauma bonds, bro. You need to let that go. You're not speaking logically to give them a point of view that broadens their viewpoint, changes their perspective. No, you just want to be mean. And then when I be mean right back to you, you don't like it. Like, stop being mean to me then. Because I know how to be just as mean as you. I know how to be just as mean as you. When it seems like you're just doing something for malicious intent. The intent to harm. You think my feelings are going to get hurt. See, that's the difference. Is like, that is going to hurt my feelings when you don't tell me the truth. But it's not going to make me want to do something bad to myself or you or anybody, dude. It's just going to hurt a little bit. It's like a sting. It's a stinging sensation. Because that was a grift. I know it doesn't seem like it, but like you're trying to make me go into the arms of the enemy in some type of way. Because I wasn't thinking about it as much. I wasn't even trying to get closer with God while I was around this. I was focused on them getting closer for some reason. I'm supposed to just believe it. Like, I hope God came into your life and you took into account that you're not supposed to lie about that stuff. You know, lying is wrong in general, but especially in the Bible. It says it's wrong to do, bro. People get offended by this because they're a fucking liar. Why wouldn't they get all offended by it? They're lying to you about something. They all lying about something. And then they get that look on their face when you talk shit about lying and liars. They get that, like, that mean, snide little, the sneer they have, you know? It's like the beady little eyes, you know? They start squinting at you, so they get that forehead horn. They don't look inviting and approachable. They look upset and miserable. Even when they sound joyous and cheerful, they look miserable, bro. They look upset, and it's a fake act because their mask is slipping. You know, it's not gonna last forever. Keeps getting worse and worse and worse every time. Like, oh, now you know why I walk around with a knife on my hip. It's not really to attack you, bro. Self-defense is still an attack, though, right? God forbid I have to do something like that. I pray every day I never have to hurt anybody or take them offline for defending myself or for an accident. I've been praying that the whole time you know me. Please, no accidents today, God. Please, nothing like this. Please protect my soul if something bad does happen. You think it's just like It's from the Bible and that's it. The Bible is a morality standpoint. Half these motherfuckers crying about Jesus don't even read the Bible. That's the point I'm trying to make, you know? I'm not a taker, you know, I'm more of a giver. I'll take what I require, not what I desire. What I desire is a lot. That's why I'm not vain and gluttonous. Even if I'm a little chubby. My sin is wrath, bro. But I know vengeance is for God to have. So I don't sit there doing that. Because I used to be a little spiteful when I was young. I used to get pissed off when the game wasn't going my way. Yeah, fuck. Instead of getting better at it, I would just get mad. Until I realized, oh, you just keep doing it. You get better at it. Same difference for reciting poetry and rapping. Same difference for catching a fish. Same difference for driving. Same difference for anything. Those competitive eaters, you don't think they train how to eat, bro? And train their body so they don't get obese? You train their body from both angles. You consume a lot of protein like that, bro. You're gonna get big. You eat all that food all the time. Especially if you're popular and doing it for attention. Like that's the thing. They'll make fun. They're like, you just want attention. Well, if I want to do music and make some type of money off of it, I need a little bit of attention to do so. Even though my intention is not fame, fortune, success. Like the measure of success you have in your brain is different from the one I have in my brain sometimes. I'm more of a morality train of thinking. The state of mind I have is not to get you back all the time. Even though the thought is there. Because wrath is my sin. That's the most sin that I have out of that list. Not so lustful, not so greedy, not so gluttonous, not so slothful, not so prideful. You know, not that egotistical. Not that arrogant, but I am somewhat wrathful. Like, you know, spite. Sometimes I want to just, like, I remember you tripping me back in the day, and sometimes I want to trip you back. You know what I'm saying? Payback, revenge. To me, that's a feminine trait, but I'm not trying to diss women. It's just super feminine for a man to be that way. Even though vengeance is the Lord's, right? I mean, that's what the book says. So maybe they were making fun of him and shit. Maybe he was a feminine. You know, he's in touch with the feminine, bro. If that's the alpha and omega, he's in touch with the feminine. He created both, right? He created Adam and then he created Eve out of his rib, right? Or do you think he fell for Lilith? You think God made a mistake? You think if God would make a mistake like that, then the God you want to work like I don't want to worship that God if you think that he makes mistakes in that way, intentionally tricking you, misleading you, gaslighting you. No, those are the leaders of the people who think that, like, you know, they say what's in the book, they think so, right? Then they don't go tell you to read it. And then when you go read it, you figure out they're lying about something, they get all offended. Well, this is what the tradition is. This is what the pastor said. This is what the priest said. Well, this is what the book says, though. Isn't it where you're pulling his name from coming out of the book? I don't know. I'm the person that doesn't need this time of year to come around to never forget. Like I remember the smell, you know. Never forget. And look what happened, bro. Everybody did forget because they were lying about something, bro. They made it less important. They took all of the importance away from that day. Just by being that way, bro. Straight up. Like, what are you supposed to do about it? Everything or nothing? Because I would say you're supposed to like At the very least, you're supposed to help in some way. Like you are supposed to help. Also, not just expect everybody to, take everybody's time up, take everybody's empathy, take everybody's love. You know, I don't want that kind of stuff, bro. I don't want to. I don't even want help like that. I feel like I should have already been. It has to be something going on. Not to try to blame an external source. It's still for a reason, but there has to be something going on where it's more difficult for me. Either I have a problem or there's somebody messing with me. I know what it feels like to have somebody messing with you for no reason. I've been dealing with that since I'm young. That's why I call it a fucking demon. It's not to give them any power. Because I know daemon means something different, right? These are fucking tricksters, pranksters. They love to see you in pain, wincing. That's why I learned how to just laugh at it. I remember laughing and it was still painful. Oh, oh, you're laughing at it. Can't be that bad. But it hurt. And I didn't like it. And it gave me a weirdness about me. Like, please, I don't want to be touched. Please, I don't need that. You made me not want affection. Something wrong with you if you're doing that to me. You know what I mean? They'll give more affection to a fucking dog. Like, that's crazy shit to me. That's crazy town, bro. Straight up, that's crazy town. People that'll give up their ethics and morals for a dollar are crazy to me also. Like, it's nuts. Well, I have to. I'm in the world, so you must be of it too. You must be of the world since you're in it. Because you love it. You need it so badly. I know. You need to be a part of it. I know. And then I have lust too sometimes. I have a lustful eyeball and I give it up. I'm like, I can't do it. I don't want to look at them in that way. Because then that's all they're going to give me is lust. That's all I'm going to get is lust. Any relationship that starts out on these sins, it's not going to turn out good, bro. A greedy relationship, a lazy, slothful relationship, a gluttonous relationship, like, it's not that good. Something pulls you away from it, and it's like, I'm not going to do no unsavory shit. Try to betray somebody else just because you feel uncomfortable by that and you want to hold on to something. Half the subscribers here probably a robot fucking with me too, bro. That's the thing. I was like commenting on some pages where they like to fuck around. People love to type and troll when it's anonymous. I know. Yeah. What's up? I don't know if you're new. I was just seeing that too. It's weird how I was saying some people are trolls and I have robots on here, and then I see somebody commenting. I was going crazy during those lockdowns. You'd be angry too. You're working during a worker shortage, and they're jipping you, acting like you gotta be happy with a raise that's a quarter or 50 cents, while gasoline is 5.25 a gallon. And people trying to gaslight you, and then they didn't want you to say there was a fucking conspiracy on this. Like, why would I trust what they're giving me if I barely trust the food that's in the supermarket? Why would I trust that warp speed delivery? Because I'm right winger. I'm more right wing than a lefty, so I gotta trust him. He's the one that came up with it. It's like a Judas scapegoat to me. Because if it was reptillery shillery, nobody would have closed that shit down. The cackling queen, they called all of them got the same characteristics. They're all narcissistic. None are to be trusted, really. They're all corrupt as hell. What am I supposed to do about that? Vote for Skells? Let's go keep sending ourselves to hell. Keep repeating the sins of Adam, following the following the female around, taking her word for it, even though she's trying to trick you in some type of way. I'm the only one here. Oh, hi, new person. Oh, I have no idea, bro. I started recording stuff. I took the cops' lead on that. You know, I seen what police do, and they got the camera on them like that for your safety and mine. And I was like, well, look how this shit is around me. They drive like shit. I guess if I have a phone in my hand, using it as a camera, I'd still get in trouble though, because it's a device in my hand. You're not supposed to have the device in your hand. Even if I'm just showing you how they're fucking driving around me, like a bunch of goddamn miscreants. Supposed to just not, supposed to just not deal with it. I guess I'm not supposed to deal with that in any type of way. Yeah, I guess not, bro. I guess I gotta deal with their problems too, right? Cause I'm that kind of dude. But, I'll let you come through if you want to. You good? I don't mind if you invite yourself if you need a place to stay, bro, for a night. If I got it, it's yours. Like the Wu-Tang song. Excuse me. Ain't nobody dying healthy, bro. I'm not saying take shitty care of yourself, but you gotta relax a little bit, you know. I had a militant diet for a long time, so I was so skinny. I was only eating what I caught and what I grew, and then some things from the store. A lot of things from the farmer's market too. That's just what I do, you know. It's just what I do. Like we all contribute to each other's reality in some type of way when we're interacting with each other, you know. Energy, energy. I'm heaven sent, or was heaven sent for me? I wasn't trying to be really part of the industry, bro. Even though there's an industrious side to me, like I would have loved to ghostwrite for a famous rapper. I'm good at poetry, bro. I could write for other people, you know. It's not like I'm evil. Sometimes evil things want you to be a part of it to make themselves look good. You know, think about it, dude. Think about it. Think about it. Think about it. Like, I've been going at it today for a long time. I've been up already for a long time, bro. The way some of these people go about shit, I'm just like, Dad. See, I could show the same things in my circumference all day. The one light missing, the shit wigwag, the wigwag, the color synchronicities, the directed conversations. So yeah, I was getting work mobbing the whole time, bro. I didn't know that's what that was, though. That's the thing. And not everybody does it. Sometimes people are partaking in it because they're a ball buster, bro, and they're not really stalking you. They're not trying to get you upset. They just like to join in, and then you turn into one of them. You know, you don't have to be one of them to get perceived as one of them, do you? You don't have to have an agreement with a contract for somebody to look at you like you're part of the devilish fucking crew. You know, that devil's army shit. But that's just what they do. When they track and trace you. I've been knowing track and tracing is a thing for a long time. My grandfather used to have the radar to see where the fish are at on his boat. I was mad young when he passed away. He probably would have showed me how to hunt. He showed me how to fish. You know? My dad wasn't going to do that shit. Like, I get it, bro. You did this and you did that. And I stopped resenting that a long time ago. You're trying to act like that's okay to... You're trying to act as if it's okay to be a certain type of way because of the fact of this. It's like, well, that part is good. Yeah, I appreciate that. But you still don't gotta be a fucking prick to me, bro. You know, disrespecting what I like to do for some reason. Like it's embarrassing you, or like, oh, am I embarrassing you, bro? I'm not really trying to. That's why I have a stage name. I didn't put them on the camera all the time, now did I? People in my family, I didn't do that a lot. I would show you that it's a regular family. You know, they have a fucking Christmas party and shit. Even if I didn't always agree with it, bro, I liked the fellowship of it. You know, I liked being there, just drinking a beer. I didn't have problems with all my fucking cousins, you know? I didn't have a bunch of problems with that. Sometimes there's a miscommunication, too. You didn't know that, bro? But that's what that girl likes to do, and then that's why you feel that way about it. I know. You feel that way about it because you know. And then I'm trying to tell you it's a different person with the same name, and you don't want to believe me, right? I know. It happens. It's okay. Because you've seen that they like me in some type of way, too. You know, they liked me. So I understand, my dude. Like, I was appreciative of what my cousin was trying to do. But I already been through that with the girl a little bit too young for me, and you know, I wasn't gonna keep going down that road. Not a place I need to go, you know? Even if it's legal. It's like, if I think that's a little too much for me to deal with, then it should be accepted. You shouldn't be calling me names. You shouldn't be trying to do what you claim all these men do to you. Chalking me, you know, all this type of shit. Because I kind of have to, because then they get all offended if I don't want the kiss, right? I know I'm not ugly. If I look at the analytics, the shit that pays attention to me is mostly women, usually. Or at least they identify as female. Right? At the very least. I don't mind getting ghosted or some shit like it. 'Cause I can see what they're trying to do half the time. I'm like, yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Maybe you like that side to me. The fact that I'm like chill, you know? Usually chill, you don't gotta worry about me. I'm not trying to get into trouble. You know, trouble's trying to get into me. I don't want trouble, bro. I really look for a calm solution most of the time. You know, if there is one. And sometimes the calmest solution is to just walk away. Not give a fuck. But I'm telling you, I'm not paranoid, but I'm saying, what if something happens? You acting like it's all good and it's not. You know, it's not all good. Like, I forgot this is the one I don't like. This bar of soap, this aloe soap. It's like greasy gel after a while. I feel like it's not really washing my body. Gotta do it twice. Because I'm not looking at it like I got all these options, bro. If I feel like I'm getting targeted for some reason, what do you think my chances are? What do you think I think my chances are? To, like, you know, to get something like that, you know? If I get with, if it's too good to be true, it probably is, bro. I'll probably get sick fucking with some shit like that. You know? Trying to get you sick, bro. They try to fuck you up in this simulation. You know? They want you to be hating on something like fuck. And then you just end up hating on yourself, but whose fault is it, bro? What you gonna blame? Satan? What are you gonna blame? Satanic panic? Like, they're the ones saying it's a satanic panic and then doing satanic shit around you. You know, it's gaslighting, my dude. Get hip to the lingo. It's called desensitization. Getting them to the sentence. Get used to the statement. Right? You think it's only just track and trace? And I'm like, bro, this is a slow creep into the totalitarian shit that all of them are trying to warn you about, bro. All those conspiracy theory dudes. You call us conspiracy theorists just for listening to them. I thought I had freedom of speech, freedom of expression. So doesn't that include that? Doesn't it include that, bro? William Cooper, Pale Horse. You know what I mean? Doesn't it include that? You know, they don't like a free thinker. You don't have to agree with everything he says, bro. You don't have to, bro. You don't have to agree with everything the dudes say. For me to like him in any way means I'm not a hater, though. You trying to say I'm anti-Semitic, and my favorite rapper is Ill Bill and Necro. A couple of my favorite rappers, you know? I think it's dumb. Like, how am I anti-Semitic if I'm observing the Torah in some type of way? Reading it, giving it a chance. Like, oh, they don't want to look at the Old Testament. I know, they don't. That's the Old Testament. That's not for me. Like, are you sure it's not for you? Are you sure he's not directing it at you also? Like, so shouldn't you do the same thing even if it's just about one group? Shouldn't you try to, if that's the right thing to do, shouldn't you try to emulate it? Or you just go against everything? See, I had to learn some shit as a protective aspect. You know? I had to learn things. Things they're not really aware of, in my opinion. They're not aware that I'm aware of it. Like, yeah, there's distractions and decoys, and you think all this shit about me, so you deploy something that you think is going to work. You think I'm going to fall for the bait because you think something about me. You think something about me, so you think I'm going to fall for the bait because you think that shit is what I do. And I'm like, bro, watch what happens when they track and trace you. Right? That's what I say about it, bro. They probably already do. They track and trace me, they track and trace you. Because why would they watch you? You think you're so much better, right? I know. That's why people say shit like that. Because they think they're better than you, bro. You didn't know that's why they say that? That's why they do that? Think about it, bro. Why do you think they say shit like that to you? What's so special about you? Right? They don't see it. Those are people that either see it in you, don't want you to see it, or they're so dumb and ignorant that they don't see it in themselves either. You know, or they see it too much in themselves. They think everybody needs to be that way. You know, the way they are. The track and tracing game. This element of life that you think it can't be that way because it's too scary. Yeah, it's creepy to think about. Don't get me wrong, but bro, you could track and trace calories, right? You know how to do that. So why wouldn't they track it? You could track and trace deer tracks in the woods, right? What else could you track and trace, bro? How much shampoo you use? You could you know what I'm saying? You could track and trace your spending habits. You could track and trace the type of food you like to eat, bro. Why wouldn't they track and trace people that they disagree with? If it's no secret, if nothing is a secret, really, right? Everything is everybody's business, right? The type of stuff. So why wouldn't they track and trace them? Is what I say. Why wouldn't they do that? Why wouldn't they do that, bro? Why wouldn't they track and trace somebody like me that wants to be loving and compassionate, affectionate? You give this jagged response. That's why I have some jagged shit to me. That's why I have some edginess to me. Because you give me this reason to be. You literally give me all the reasoning to be that way. Why I'm that way? It's because people act that way towards me, and I try not to let it affect my everyday life. Just be a mean person. You know, I try not to be mean to anybody, bro. Especially not people. Why would I be mean to people that are trying to get me to be mean? You don't even realize they're doing it half the time. Like, wouldn't you? If it was just an easy $20 in your pocket, yo, go near that guy and scratch your eyebrow. Right? For some reason, they're farming you for some reason. I know. Nobody wants to hear stuff like that, bro. I know. There's a lot of fucking demons in the world, bro. You know that? A lot of fucking demons in the world, bro. You had to have known that by now. Bunch of demonic fucking people, bro. They're evil. Some of them are evil. They don't like that you have patience enough to grow a beard and catch a fish. They don't like that. Trust me. They really don't. They want you anxious and upset for some reason. They like that. They love to see you that way, because then they could control you. Think about it. Yeah, think about it logically. If you're trying to control somebody, why wouldn't you get them upset on edge like that? quick summer, bro. It was very mild. Some people don't want to hear that shit. Shit they spray in the sky got something to do with it. I know. Bad, bro. Just to let you know. That stuff is bad, bro. Yeah, know that. There's bad stuff in the world. You need me to tell you that? You're my age. You know people are bad sometimes? Don't blame the devil. Why don't you blame God, bro? He's the one letting the devil fuck with you, right? You should be thanking God that the devil came to test you. Because that means God respects you. He thinks you're gonna crack under pressure or rise to the occasion. I think God sees what I'm doing. You know, He don't get offended by me, and I don't get offended by God. Because I have Jesus to thank. You know, I have Jesus to. You know, I appreciate that. I don't appreciate some of His followers though. I'll tell you that much. I think some of them are just fucking dick riders. I don't even like it. They wouldn't like Him if He came back today. You know, they would not. A lot of people wouldn't. You know, that's what I say about it. I don't try to scoff them about it. I try to remind them, like, bro, they're making jokes about you. I could take a joke, can you? You get all offended about it, but you ain't willing to do shit about it. You just want to act like a victim, like the other tribe. It's like a spirit that comes over them. You know, they want to be a victim so badly. Like, for what, bro? Why do you need to be a victim? Have you ever been a victim of anything? It's not like it's not a good feeling. It's not fun. It's not fun to do. It's not like a cool time at a party, bro. Playing fucking beer pong. That means somebody tried to take your autonomy away in some way, in some kind of way. You know, a lot of people just don't care. And they never will. Think about it. They never will care about anybody else. What they're going through, what they might feel. It's all about them. I know. I'm not trying to pretend like it's just for your best interest, but I'm keeping you in mind. When I make my decisions, if I have somebody else with me, I don't want to get them into trouble. You know? I like getting their permission to do something. Not like a trick. They're like, here, do this, and then we do something different that's gonna fuck you over. I don't want that. I don't like that. I don't like what happens to me. Why would I do that to somebody else? People don't like that about me, I know. I have empathy, compassion. You know? Imagine a world where people actually had compassion for one another and just judge you off the dumbest shit you could think.